All right. So we have another guest who has been here waiting patiently.
What can we say? We like have a lot of iconic creators who want to share
Yes.
and talk about all the cool shit that they're doing. So like, sometimes like it's 2026. We said we're continuing our Delulu into this year, and the way that we made friends with so many Black creators in our journey thus far, like we might have stacked guests, and that's just a bonus for y'all. So make sure you pull up and show them love, like for real, for real. We we had this whole conversation about not having people on the show who we don't truly believe in, and not hyping up books that we aren't interested in or haven't enjoyed. So I mean, if I'm not going to say anything negative. Just know that if they're here, it's a double positive. I'll just say that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, yeah, all of the love. But yeah, we have our next guest is someone
Yes.
we had the pleasure of meeting at San Diego Comic-Con, gem of a human. I don't know if that was your first time meeting him, but I got
It
to meet him
was.
because he was there showing love for Stephanie Williams. And if y'all don't know already, this is a Stephanie Williams stan account.
That's
Okay, we
right.
stan our girl. So it was just like peak epicity by association. And I'm not gonna lie, I was unfamiliar with his game until afterwards. And then I was like, wow, like we're just
I like
meeting
his writing style.
like, I'm like, let me find out something. Literally went back to the room and was just my flabbers were gasted. And Keisha was like,
Right?
"You didn't know, girl, you didn't know." I'm like, "No, girl, I'm just friendly to everybody. What are you talking about?" So it's like, and that just speaks to his like humility. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just there
Yeah.
kicking it, celebrating these comics, celebrating Stephanie, and very chill about his introduction and all of that. And then like looking into what he has done, I'm like, wow, he's like super humble for somebody so accomplished. So it was just really cool
Right.
that he immediately like identified with us and was like, yeah, I'll be on the show. And so we just, had our cute little fangirl and went on about our business. But now he's got all these things going on. So we're so excited that he has taken the time to join us on today's show. So let's welcome him now.
Everybody, welcome Dorado quick.
How are y'all doing? Y'all introduction was just beautiful. Thank you. Like, man. First off, thank you for having me.
Of course.
You're
Y'all were so
welcome.
cool at SDCC, and there's so few of us, right? So to like meet someone who looks like us, same interest in the vibe, and to be cool,
Yeah.
and then for us to both follow up, right? Because we'd be like, oh, hit me up, and then you hit
Yeah.
them up, you never hear nothing. For y'all to hit me up, and I'd hit y'all up back and forth, and we made it happen.
Yeah.
That y'all have me here. Thank you for the introduction.
Yes. Thank you for taking the
Absolutely.
time. We don't take your time for granted because y'all, he's like doing his big thing
Busy.
creatively, but he's also in school. So for us to be able to like take some of his time, that's crazy. So we, like I said, we don't take it for granted. We really appreciate you being here.
Right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
How is school so far?
Yeah.
It's intense. It's intense. I'm learning a lot. Film is another it's another medium. So it's like you learn the rules and you learn the crafts of each medium. Advertising is one thing, comics is one thing, branded content is one thing, short film is another thing. Feature films and narratives are a whole nother beast.
Yeah.
Um, the through line is story, right? Knowing your character, knowing
Mhm.
your story. What do you want to say as an artist? Those type of skills translate. But it's intense, yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm struggling going between because I'm in a space now where I'm learning more about the art side of comics.
Yeah.
And that is a lot, to be able to have the language to say exactly why you like something or, why this sticks with you in some kind of way. Yeah, I'm so proud of you for going back to school
Oh,
learning that.
thing. And that's the thing about comics, people forget it's like any other meeting. Comics is not just superheroes. You got
Yeah.
noir, you got rom-coms, you got love, you got adventures, you got mysteries, you got detectives, like horror comics are huge. So like, and then be able to talk about, even me, I'm still learning why I like certain artists over other artists, or I prefer this artist's style versus another. Like it's all beautiful work,
Yeah.
but it's figuring out
Yeah.
what is the style that is best for a certain story or a certain writer.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. And this story, first off, you're here because of the DC Romance Anthology that's coming out the end of this month, right?
Yeah, January 28th. January 28th. DC's Supergirl Next Door #1.
Yeet.
Yes, yes. So you guys have the cover when you go into your comic book shop. If you haven't pre-ordered, please do so now. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Or just
time.
pick it up day of or week of. Some comic shops are gonna get an alternate cover, which is pretty dope too.
Mhm.
Yeah, go pick it up January 28th.
The art style on the alt cover, like, so y'all know I love a pink centric cover regardless. But that art style on, I forget who the artist is on the B cover, is very peak. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you literally can't lose with it. But we love to hear like well, first, one thing we love to do with all of our guests is hear what your comic book origin. So you see, I was about to start fangirling because I really want to know about
Right.
that. But we gotta. We said we're staying on task this year. What
Good.
was your comic book origin story? Like, what got you into reading and enjoying comics? And then we want to hear what got you into creating comics.
Ooh. Great first question. Deep question. This I'm gonna keep it real. Like I grew up in Inglewood, California, back when Inglewood was up to no good. You know, it's a lot different now. Yeah, stadium thing, a little bit of gentrification. So
I'm
back
sure,
then,
Callie.
Inglewood was rough, and
Yeah.
my uncle was, in and out of halfway houses, if you know what that is. So he would just try to find things to keep me out of trouble.
Yeah.
And I had recently moved in with my dad because my mom had left. So now I'm living with my dad around the chaos of my neighborhood, my community, good kid, mad city type stuff. And yeah, my uncle just needed a way to just, teach me right from wrong, keep me out of trouble. Back then you can get comics at the liquor store, you know what I mean? So you can get them there, you can get them at 7-Eleven. So I think my first comics were like definitely DC. There was Batman. I definitely picked up like some old Ninja Turtles, and then definitely some Spider-Man as well. But my uncle would drop off these books to me. He'd read them with me, or tell me he'd already had read them, and then tell me to read them and tell me and go back and tell him what I thought. So that's how I got into comics. My uncle just trying to find a way to keep me out of trouble, keep me off the streets, teach me right from wrong. And I think he was also kind of planting a seed of escapism. It just to like
Yeah.
see the world outside, my window. So that was my intro into comics from my uncle.
Wow, that's real. And that's beautiful that you shared it because I feel like a lot of us who got into reading like at a young age, you were really lucky if you had someone who you looked up to or who was like partially taking care of you, who participated in it with you. Because a lot of us have that experience like solitarily. So the fact that he was reading it and talking about it with you probably just enhanced it that much more. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And what was the next question? It was how did I get into
Creating comics.
Writing. Yeah.
such a long journey, y'all? I I remember I remember an undergrad emailing Marvel, emailing DC, going to like the academic advisors, never got a response.
Oh,
Like never got a response. So then I was like, I never put the dream away, but I was just like, all right, I'm gonna have to do this later in life, or it's just I got, I'm gonna figure it out somehow. And I pursued a career in advertising, did very well with that, writing and creative direction for a lot of big brands. And it was around 2018, I did a short film starring Michael B. Jordan for the first Black Panther. And all my comic book knowledge kind of like was like needed by everybody at PepsiCo and Briss. Like you didn't need a presentation. You needed me in the room to kind of explain comics and things like that and what happened.
yeah.
And then from there, I got to work on and again, I got to consult on like the Air Jordan collaboration they did. And then I got to consult on Venom as well. So
Mhm.
like, my
Nice.
career in comics kind of just fused. And just so grateful for the opportunity for that. It was a friend of mine who was working at Sony. She gave me the opportunity after she met me on the Black Panther project. And just grateful for her giving me the opportunity. And then from there, you know, I'd always been like writing paragraphs, writing ideas in the background. I had read Brian Michael Bendis's Words for Pictures and other books you can, you know, buy on how to write comics. Scott McCloud has like Understanding Comics, Making Comics, and then he has a third one that I haven't read, but I have the book. And then I reached out to Anthony Piper. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but
Yeah,
you know Anthony Piper.
really.
I like to say like I'm Anthony's first and only student of gifted youngsters. He doesn't take a lot of people on, and for some reason we hit it off. And I would send Anthony scripts, and Ant would rip them up and tell me everything that was wrong with them. Tell me I'm ugly and couldn't read good. Tell me what I did right, and from there I started like understanding more about the art and the craft of writing comics, right? So there's like, when you write comics, you're writing for the audience, obviously, but you're writing for an editor, you're writing for your artist, you're writing for the colorer, you're writing for the letterer. And after that, after some training with Anthony, I applied to the DC Comics Warner Brothers Discovery Talent Program for the Milestone Initiative. They did like an announcement at Comic-Con, applied. You had to submit scripts based on a prompt, so you couldn't submit what you'd already done. They gave you a new prompt that we had to submit a script for. Went through an interview process, and I think you guys met Morgan Hampton that day.
Yeah. He went through it too.
And then we did, I think the program was like 8 weeks online with like, it was 12 writers and 12 artists internationally from across the world. And then we did a week in person at DC headquarters. And then for that year, shout out our professor, Amy Chu, amazing comic book writer.
Yeah.
At every convention. No, Amy Chu is whenever we see Amy, she shows us love. For about a year, we went to San Diego Comic-Con, WonderCon, all the cons, and she introduced us to editors, and DC introduced to people, and started getting picked for projects. I've done quite a few projects with DC, did some projects with Boom Studios. I'm a big Power Rangers fan. And then also got to work with Tyler Martin with Godhood Comics and the actor Woody McClain from Power. So that's how I got into comics and how I started writing and creating comics.
That's dope.
Crazy. That's crazy. I would love to ask that question, because your route was definitely singular in comparison to a lot of other stories that we've heard about how people get in. But one thing that is very similar with all of those stories is like your attention to detail. You're passionate about something and you did the work. Like you're talking about these books that you read about how to create and how you're studying under people and how you're putting in the work to understand stories in all mediums, and they just kind of all crash together. So yeah, that's really cool.
Absolutely. I have 2 questions you can completely ignore, but I'm gonna ask them anyway.
Okay.
I'm typically more serious than this, but you said Michael B. Jordan's name.
Yeah.
So,
what's up?
Are you able to contact this man currently?
We spoke last week.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Cool.
Great human being.
Yeah.
Got it. I got you.
That's excellent. Yeah.
I'm happy I asked the question. That was important.
I am not. The way that I purposed it in my heart not to say a thing. Here you go.
It happens. It's okay. It happens. I'm used to it. It happens.
Yeah. So you just.
Okay, and since second, I love Power.
Our like secondhand lust, you know.
Both talk at the same time. I'll answer everything. Just which one we go with? We go with Bree. We go with Keisha.
Oh, I was gonna move on to Power Rangers.
I'm wondering how safe is your second question, Keisha? Let's move it along.
Oh no, that was my only one that no, Power Rangers.
We just have one.
Yes.
About Power Rangers. Yeah.
Which run do I start with your writing?
Oh, so man, so I got really. I don't know. I don't say if it's lucky, but like Nip said, like opportunity and preparation. I was at San Diego Comic-Con a couple years, and I had been reaching out to the Power Rangers editor, and I got to see her in person at San Diego Comic-Con. I talked to her about the work I was doing, and she had an opportunity coming up. So most comic book fans know, but everybody doesn't know. Books come out in single issues, and then they collect them. So it was the collection. I think I might have. I do have it. Yeah, it is Mighty Morphin / Power Rangers Book 2. It's like the collected edition. It's like huge. This is like, I don't know, like 2-3 years worth of work.
I'm like, put it closer to the screen, quick, dang.
Yeah, when they do like the hardcover edition, they typically include like guest writers and things like that.
Yeah.
See that quick flash. His name is right there on the spine.
I didn't even know it was gonna happen because I'm only in there for like 10 pages. Yeah, so like I told her I was, a big Power Ranger fan. I loved it my entire life. It's a safe place. It's a, when I'm sad, I go watch the original movie that came out. It just always makes me feel good. And in that series, Ryan Parrott and Melissa, they brought back the Green Ranger and gave the coin to somebody else. So there was a new young man, Matt Cook, and Matt Cook was basically the sixth friend when they were in middle school and high school. When they got powers, they kind of just left him behind. And his whole life, not his whole life, but all in high school, he's like, I know y'all are the Power Rangers. Like, it's cool. I ain't gonna say anything. And they never said anything. And Matt gets like kidnapped and brainwashed. All these things happen. And he just wants to fight and help with his friends. But his friends are like, we know what you're talking about, bro. He's like, got the same colors. Y'all got the same color t-shirts. Y'all miss. He knows. And it really hurts their friendship, And I think the way that some writers have written it, him and Kim were a thing before she was a Ranger. So he's really like feeling it. So I got to write a story that takes place right after he becomes a new Green Ranger. And it's one of the things where you get what you want, but it comes with other things. So like one thing he did is when in this comic series, Lord Zed takes over Angel Grove, he puts like a dome over the city. The Power Rangers can't get in, and Matt is there by himself defending Angel Grove, and all the citizens are. So he reveals himself to all of Angel Grove and the world to let them know. Because, in comic books, and actually nobody knows whether the Power Rangers are humans or not. Like they just know they're people in suits. So he reveals himself. And what that does, it makes the whole city feel safe. It makes everyone feel a little closer to Rangers. But now he really can't hang out with his friends because if he goes to get lunch and everybody knows you're the Green Ranger, you got 6 people around you. So this story is really about him, being a hero, relieving, kind of coming out as a hero. And just like he can't get lunch with his friends, after battles, he has to do like, ESPN style press conference, with the helmet there. And he's talking about what happened. The Yellow Ranger did this. The White Ranger did this. And he's getting so much pressure. People wanted to give him brand deals. And he's like, nah, I just want to protect my friends and family. His dad is upset that he's not playing football anymore. And he's just having a terrible day of being like this instant celebrity. Like he tries to go buy a smoothie from Ernie's. I made Ernie's like a food cart, you know what I mean? Because kind of modernize it. And these 2 bullies are like messing with him because like, yo, you can't fade us without the morpher. He's like, yo, I don't even need the morpher, but I don't want the smoke. I'm just here to save the city. Yeah. And there's this kid that tries to reach out to him that's sick. And it's like, yo, I'm fighting cancer or something like that. Well, I'd love to meet you one day. And the bullies kind of get in the way of the kid reaching out to him. Oh. And by the end of the story, he comes home. There's like press all in front of his house, like, cameras, paparazzi flashing. And his dad and his mom welcome in the house. And they're like, we didn't really understand what this meant. And you go around to like all the fictional cities and Power Rangers, and everyone's doing like a food drive or a clothing drive. And it's like, yo, if this 16-year-old kid can be fighting for our lives, we can all do our part in our respective cities. And when he gets to his room, it's the letter from that kid talking about, hey, you're fighting for our city and I'm going to fight this sickness. And that was like the story I got to write. And I thought that was just a special story to kind of give you the public persona of a Power Ranger, which we've never had in the Mighty Morphin series. I'm just a Green Ranger fan. Like I love the Dragon Zord. I love the new suit. And it was just, I was like, if you let me pick I'm always gonna pick the Green Ranger. You know, whether that's Tommy or Matt Cook, you know, that's who I'm gonna pick. And they like my pitch, and I got to tell the story. So shout outs to Boom Studios. Hopefully, I can get back in to do some more Power Ranger stories. They've had a changing of the guard, different editors, things like that. But we're in communication, and hopefully, we get to do some more stories.
I
Well, you
mean, you
just
just made
pitched
me
the
fall
hell
in
out of
love,
that story.
right?
You see them, and I'm like, we were literally just talking about this the other, like, a couple episodes ago, about how, like, you were either really a Power Ranger fan when you were little or you weren't. You know what I'm saying? And we, while I wasn't a Power Ranger fan because of the way my sister and my cousins loved it, it's the same way that, like, Keisha's not a SpongeBob fan because of her people around her who, like, wore it to death, type of thing. But the way you just pitched that, I'm like, yeah, I'll pick up a Power Ranger book. So I hope that they definitely, like, give you a shot at writing your perspective.
Oh yeah,
because that sounds really cool. So, like, give us specifics about that particular issue so we can go pick that up.
Well, it's in that collected version, so I can like slide y'all like a press copy so y'all can enjoy it. But for like the general,
I'm gonna get the book so you get your money.
Yeah,
also.
Yeah, that's literally that's the vibe.
Has to buy that.
The only way you gonna catch a Power Ranger book on my shelves is because Quick wrote it. Period.
I appreciate it.
You will be getting an email from us though, like, where can we send this to get it signed?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I see y'all again this year at San Diego. That would be great.
Say that. And maybe you can, like, help us slide into one of those DC parties.
I will try. It took a minute for me to get in, so my whole thing is I always try to help good people, and y'all are good people. So I'll see what we can do, even if it's just introducing you to somebody that can maybe do it. You know what I mean? Because
literally, listen, we're goofy. We're gonna shoot our shot wherever, but we want to be a part of what you're doing. That's the gist.
For sure. And like, y'all voices are important. You know what I mean? Not only are women, you're Black women, comics, geeks, nerds. Like, we need to get more access to y'all. Like, the way y'all root for Stephanie makes me happy because Stephanie is just so cool. Like, Stephanie reached out to me, or I don't know if I reached out, whatever happened. Me and Stephanie spoke a bunch of times before we actually met. And when I met her in person, it was like, you're everything and more. So I'll go for Stephanie. You know, I'll try to do what I can for sure.
Period. The way that we were, like, obsessed with her work, and then you meet her and it's like, wow, she's just genuinely a gem of a person. So it's like, you can't help but root for somebody who's, like, mad talented and also just cool as hell, which is why you're here on the show, Quick.
That's why you're here. But now, the way you spoke about Power Rangers and just the way you pitched it, one, made me fall in love with it immediately. So just know I'm getting that book. But also, it just reminds me of just how you can make somebody fall in love with a character nobody would typically think of or pay attention to. Because going into this DC anthology, I'm gonna be honest, I grew up with Justice League, right? I grew up with them, but like the JSA, I didn't really know too much about them. And like this story that you wrote made me go, oh my God, do I have to like read this to get his backstory? This was adorable. This was wonderful. I like this character and what he stands for. That's amazing to do. Especially because I don't really like white people in my comics.
Oh my God, Keisha.
Oh, well, one, thank you. This is my first romance story. I've never wrote about love publicly. I've never shared a love story. So that was a challenge publicly. So that was a challenge, right? Writing a love story. And then two, it's an older white male from like one of the original DC heroes. So how do I tap into that voice, that perspective, the things that he and his wife might enjoy? It was a really, really fun challenge. I tried to like tap into a little bit of John Wesley Shipp. He played Jay Garrick on the CW Flash show. So I kind of had his energy and persona kind of in my head. And then Jeff Johns wrote a lot of JSA and Jay Garrick, and then Jeremy Adams recently did a 5 or 6 issue run on Jay Garrick. So what I do is I do my research. I kind of formulate a voice or opinion on where I think the story could go, and then I try to do a little paragraph to conceptualize it, and then I go to write it. And yeah, also tried to do something that I haven't really seen done before, which is 5 interconnecting splash pages.
Yeah.
You rarely see that in comics, let alone in the 10 pager. And I was able to balance that out. Well, I didn't know if it was going to work, but I think it worked. And being that you liked it means that it worked. So, where I'm at right now, my journey is trying to push the medium of what you can do in comics. And that was like my first kind of yeah, let me see what I got. Let me see if I'm getting better. And I think I'm getting better.
Period.
No, definitely. That was actually one of my questions. I was like, what was the collaboration like with the artist? Because it seemed like you had an idea and they were like, bet, let's do it. And just like,
I'm very detailed in my scripts, but I also leave room for collaboration. So I'll hyperlink a lot of things as references. So the concept for this story is you've all heard the thing about your life flashes before your eyes and you see yourself from beginning to end. And I thought about, this is a romance anthology. There's a villain. It's just about a man that just wants to celebrate his anniversary with his wife. And this villain attacks him and he's on the ropes, and it's like he sees his life flash before his life, and he sees the things he's done good, the things he's done bad, the things he wish he could have done better, and the ups and the downs. And I was like, all right, this character debuted in I don't know, the 40s or the 50s, something like that, the beginnings of DC. And I was like, well, what have they really seen? They've seen cinema change. They've seen cinema from the drive-ins, you guys have seen that viral Ryan Coogler interview when he does the 8mm, 16mm, 35mm. Here are the perforations, here are the perfs. It's spinning. I thought about all that. I'm like, all right, this man has seen cinema grow. We're gonna do a light flashing before your eyes. It should be a film reel, and I wanted that film reel to capture the ups and downs of their relationship. And I'm not going to spoil the book, but as you guys know, it comes back to modern times, and that movie ticket from their first date is brought back full circle. And that's what I was going for visually. And then inspiration again, it was Raphael Sadiq's our anniversary. It's our anniversary. That was the inspiration for this. Michael Jackson, Remember the Time, and a hint of Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father Again. Those are the things I was listening to as I put this story together. That's kind of how I kind of shaped it. And if now hindsight, you could probably kind of see those beats kind of happen.
Yes. Oh,
that needs to be a question we ask more often, because I love hearing the music that y'all listen to and you write in, and it just shows up on the page, because that's beautiful.
Y'all gonna make me a little teary. y'all.
But actually, hearing that after the fact is you can totally see that.
Yeah.
It makes total sense. And then also having the context about your vision for it after what you said about your current experience and the difference in portraying stories depending upon what type of media you're using is you're really cooking in terms of who your audience is and how you want it to be, perceived outside of just the story. So there's layers to it. So you can literally mention these songs afterwards, and both of us are literally clutching our imaginary pearls damn. But actually, though, I could feel that story. That's crazy.
That means my visual language is getting better. It's getting better.
100% it is. 100% it is.
Because you don't want to be heavy-handed, you didn't want to be it's more how can you weave there?
Right, yeah. It's gotta be sexy, it's gotta be finessed. Wow. Wow. That is truly a talent. Cause I feel we were talking about this a couple episodes too, when you come across something and it's I don't think that the story actually did what this person thought that it did. So it's really refreshing when you see you thought you got the full depth of it, and then you get this other layer, and it's like, oh wow, they did all of that and this piece that I didn't catch because I didn't even have that like full context. You got the emotion piece of it, but you didn't know like what the reference point was, and then you get the reference point, and it's just like it hits.
So
Wow,
y'all
that's
are the first that I shared that. I haven't shared that with anybody. So like y'all are the first ones that shared that because y'all asked. But yeah, the collaboration. When you do anthologies, you don't really get to always speak with your artist that much. So what I try to do is once I know who my artist is, so like DC selected me to pitch, I pitched, they liked the pitch, I go write the script, and then like you submit artists you might want, you know what I mean? So like I submitted a few artists and I swung for the fences. He's like, I'm glad you swung for the fences.
as you should, yeah.
Um, and I was familiar with Laura's work, Laura Braga, and he had told me that Laura was going to be an artist. And when I saw Laura's work, I'm like, oh, I see why you picked her. This is dope. And I DM'd her and it's like, hey, I just found out we're going to be working together. I really like your artwork. If you have any questions, anything, like hit me up, let me know. And she felt that the story was very emotional and very impactful to be 10 pages. And she was excited to draw it. And I think you can see it in the artwork. You can see that she was excited to draw it. And yeah, we had a couple DMs here and there. And then from there, you know, it was just working with the letterer to just make sure everything is lettered correctly and at the right spots. And the letterer did a great job. The colorist did a great job. You know, everybody did a phenomenal job on this comic, and I'm very excited that it came out well. And hearing how y'all liked it means I did pretty good.
Yeah.
No, you did. You can tell that you have a strong understanding of this character, and you wanted us to understand this character, but through the perspective of love and what it means to like cherish your family, cherish, you know, the love of your life and how that motivates you to get through. Like, it was beautiful. I'm sorry. It was so beautiful.
I'm not married or anything like that, so I thought about like what does marriage look like in the ups and the downs, let alone a superhero, right? Because like you can only imagine superhero ain't gonna be there all the time. You're not gonna get everything that you want to get. So and I also thought like a man of his age and that time period would probably feel like a debt that he could never repay. And that's what I was trying to like bring across is that like when you find a woman like that, a partner like that, that understands you, understands your purpose, your journey, you got to be grateful. And you might not ever be able to repay that debt, but as long as you can honor her within your life and your actions, I think it can work out. And I'm trying not to say too much because the way that honor, you guys know honors her. But yeah, that was my goal, and I really wanted to. I wanted his wife to kind of be like the heartbeat. And you know, and you'll see this now in hindsight. The three words that he says, I saved it for as long as I could because I wanted, you know, I feel like an older man is gonna struggle with emotions. So I tried to like save some of my earlier drafts. I had in the middle. No, he can't say it yet. He can't say it yet. This is when he says it, and that's how it came out. Yeah, but Jay Garrick and "Running on Love" is the name of that story. He's the first Flash, the original Flash, and yeah, thank you both for enjoying it.
Absolutely.
You can just like you can tell by how both of us are like literally squirming. Like it's so tea. And for you to have been able to convey this with the character that neither of us like would have gravitated towards naturally, for you to be able to like convey that level of emotion and make us like care more about his perspective and his experience and his relationship with this person is just like that is a true talent. That is a true talent. You did what you set out to do. Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Yes. Wow. This is why we're fangirling for real because like context makes the world. It just enhanced it that much more, and I'm literally like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna reread it after this. Like that's so cool. That is so freaking cool.
I'm
Wow.
still stuck on the music because y'all don't understand. Please pick this book up and then come back to this interview and listen to the 3 songs. It will make complete sense.
Yeah.
Complete sense.
Yeah.
You are an amazing writer. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
Thank,
you are. And
thank
now
you.
you're gonna have us like all messed up, like trying, because obviously we got to buy the issue, like trying to read the other stories around it. They have like incredibly big shoes to fill in order to even
Mhm.
seem like comparable. So like,
There's some other stories in there. It's some others
yeah,
that are good. I've
okay.
gotten to read one other story by my homie Dave Wilgaz.
Hmm.
He's got a Green Lantern Black Canary love story, and that
Mm.
one's
Oh.
really good. He balances action with love in it. And then Rosie Knight, she's got a Swamp Thing love story, which I'm excited to see what that Swamp Thing love story is gonna be.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
the book has,
Yeah.
I've only seen like 1 or 2 of the eight or 10 stories that are in there. But
mhm.
Mhm.
I'm thinking it's supposed to be pretty good, and this is kind of their way of kind of hinting that the Supergirl movie is coming. So they did a good job of curating this book, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's the okay, so I only know about Swamp Thing because of City Boy. Like,
Mm,
that run with there's a DC run called City Boy, and he's a
yeah,
black
I know the editor on
mm,
that. I don't know the writer, but I
mm.
know the editor.
Yeah, and that one I enjoyed a lot, and that was the first time of me being introduced to Swamp Thing, and he seems so cool. So,
He does.
like
He does.
like, you see, he's like, I can't really explain it other than that. He just has, like, a decent vibe to him, so
Okay.
I'm now interested in reading the rest of it.
Anthologies are really fun, and I'm just so grateful that DC continues to do them because
Mhm.
it's how you kind of prove yourself as a writer because everybody can't get a one shot or a 6 issue miniseries or ongoing. So this is kind of where you kind of can build your skills, try things out. And again, use this, I can go send it to IDW or send it to Boom and be like, hey, I'm still working. This is what I can do with a 10 pager. What's that? What's that?
Yeah.
That one
Yeah.
shot? Like, what's that mini series look like?
Yes.
I'm grateful that they're still doing anthologies.
Okay, I love that you're loving the anthology life, but I need you to lock in quick, okay? Because now that you're like in this DC lane,
Mm-hmm.
we need you to like keep pitching, pitching, pitching because one of our biggest complaints is that we love a DC Power anthology, but
Mm-hmm.
we need some ongoing stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have you seen The Thousand Days?
I have, and
Yeah.
I'm in an interesting position
Mhm.
because I am
Wait, hold
one of
on. If it will mess with your bag to comment
oh
on that right now,
no, not at
okay.
all.
Okay,
Oh, no,
okay.
I wouldn't dare say that would mess with that. Uh,
Okay.
what I mean by interesting position because I am a fan just like you. I'm a reader just like both of you, and I enjoy our stories.
Yeah.
Um, Me having a business background and being in business and things like that, I also know somewhat of numbers, right?
Yeah.
And and we're in this weird place where we get a person of color miniseries and we enjoy it, but no one picks it up. So if
Mm.
no one picks it up, that affects the numbers for the next writer. So my rule of thumb is anything of color, DC or Marvel, I just pick up just
Yeah.
off the rip because those numbers are how they reflect. So let's say like Bree, DC gave you a 5 or 6 issue series and you did gangbusters. Then they'd be like, oh, okay, we could probably give Keisha a minimum of 6 issues, or
Mm.
thing like that. So like that's why the same thing with Marvel too. Like they look at the pre-sales, they look at how the books are doing. So to me, there's still, we still very much, there's not an ongoing person of color, story at Marvel or DC, and those are the big two. So we want to make that happen. I do want to shout out Morgan Hampton because he's a black man writing Green Lantern
Yeah.
Corps, which is
100%.
a
We had him on the show.
Yay. Yeah.
Actually,
in himself in itself. But yeah, as far as DC, like we're trying to figure it out. I was this close to getting my own book for Steel. It was I wrote the they call them backups, but that's what you call like the prequel. But they gave it to Michael Dorn. Michael Dorn is Worf from Star Trek.
You did write that.
Yeah. So
okay, I'll say it off camera because what?
So it's like, it's like if I had lost or the opportunity had gone to some other person in like, Willacoochee, Georgia or something like that. No disrespect, some random place, like I might have felt away, but like Michael Dorn has done so much for Black cinema, Black sci-fi, all those things. It was an honor to write the chapters to launch his book. But yeah, me and DC, there are a few characters that I've identified, stories that I would like to tell, and they're aware of those characters, and they're aware that I have interest in those characters, and it's just waiting for the right opportunity or the next launching point. But they know, and I know, and DC, what I really want to say, they have some really great people. Like Jim Lee is so cool, Marie Javins is so cool. All the editors at DC, really good people, and they treat you like from my experience, I'm treated like a human being. And that's what I like, so yeah, I definitely want a 6-issue series or ongoing series at DC, and I hope it will happen. If when it happens or it doesn't happen, I'm still working on my own things as well.
Period. Okay, I'm gonna harass anybody who comes on the show because we clearly we have ulterior motives about these sort of things. But I also hear your point about like showing up for your pre-orders, which is one of my excuses for being a variant vixen. Like I've copped every Green Lantern variant because it has my girl Sojourner in it.
Yeah.
Mixed feelings about how the story was going at times and all that sort of thing, but like we show up around here, and that's part of what the show is doing. Like we try to encourage other people to do the same thing, and we're always preaching about pre-orders. So
yeah,
I hear you. But
if they give me a shot, y'all gonna be the first ones to know, and then we got to get all these 1,000-day people to like, yo, let's show up and buy, like let's show up and support.
Literally.
That's got to be our game plan. And I know some people are gonna have the opposite side of the coin that say that we shouldn't have to, but we need our voices, we need our stories, and we do need to show up with our money. And if we do that, that will create more opportunities for other writers of color, women of color, and characters of color. So yeah, when we see that next announcement at Marvel and DC, we got to show up, and we'll go from there. So yeah, if something happens, y'all will be one of the first to know.
Yeah. Dang, I really wish you wrote the rest of that Steel book.
Her face.
I don't know why I forgot. There's a reason why I forgot.
Yeah. Man. You are doing so well. Okay, so we're gonna stay on our best behavior in this instance. And we want to make sure we're being respectful of you and your time. So we want to hear from you. Like, right now is the opportunity to shameless plug. Like, where can we find you? What are you working on? What's coming up next? What are some things that you've enjoyed reading that you think we should check out? Who are some other creators to support? Like, shameless plug all the way down.
Oh wow, okay, that's a lot. As far as me, my Instagram, that's like, I'm not a big social media person, but Instagram is what I'm typically on, and that's Dorado.quick. That's my real name, first and last. People ask me all the time, like, real government name. That's what I would give it. And then my portfolio is DoradoQuickWrites.com. So that's everything from radio to TV, branded content, short films. Some films got premiered by Oprah. I got Super Bowl films with LeBron James. There's the Black Panther show with Michael B. Jordan. I got to do a Tulsa, Oklahoma story about Greenwood with Nas. That's probably one of my favorite short films. And you guys had those other guests prior, so that was like kind of cool that happened. But you guys, if you need a good laugh or a good cry, my portfolio has everything you need for a good laugh or a good cry. What else? Books that I'm always going to support indie creators. Tyler F. Martin at Godhood Comics. The Antagonist is something that he works really hard on. It's a fun read. just a good guy. I even took some of his comic classes, you know, in years past. He's a solid dude. Anthony Piper, truly gonna always shout out Anthony Piper. Not too many people can write as good as they can draw, and vice versa. And he does it as one of the best, and like giving us our features, our skin tones, our colors. He's phenomenal. Shoot, what else? If you haven't read Bitter Root, please read Bitter Root. Bitter Root.
Yeah.
Not y'all, but the chat, you know what I mean? Bitter Root. Bitter Root is phenomenal. Trying to think what else. Morgan Hampton, Green Lantern Corps. You gotta go read that. He's doing a phenomenal job. Stephanie Williams has at Ignition Press, she has Roots of Madness.
Yep.
I have that on my pull list. Stephanie Williams also has Temporal. I have Temporal on my list. Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other people to shout out, books to read. What are y'all into? Like, I'm really good at, like, if you ask me something to read,
that's really interesting, because I was just thinking about that the other day. With prose, I'm very specific. It's mostly fantasy, you know, sci-fi, all that.
Yeah.
But with comics, it can be anything. I find that very interesting.
I'm a big manga person too. Like, at the bottom of my shelf over here, I've got My Hero Academia, I've got Dragon Ball.
Yay!
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a huge influence on me. I'm trying to think of like anything else that's here. I really like Rogue Sun at Image Comics. It's a Ryan Parrott. It's like a high school bully that becomes a superhero. So it's like not the typical story.
Okay.
And seeing him wrestle with how he was a bully and a bad person, and he's still not a good person, but he's a hero, but he's got daddy issues and father issues. So
is that part of the Massive Verse with Radiant Black? Yeah.
I really like Rogue Sun, and like there's this black woman that is like, she's not the magical Negro. She's more like the spiritual guide, and like she kind of has like a jail of all the spirits and monsters that he has to stop, and she kind of facilitates and rehabs them if she can. And she's a really interesting character to me. And she has a niece, I believe her niece comes in like volume 3, and she was an interesting character for like a good 6 issues. So I'm enjoying that. Yeah, like that's kind of like my recommendations and shout outs. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to shout out right now.
No, that's all good. Are you working on anything else currently?
Yes, so I'm working on an original graphic novel / manga. It's manga inspired. I'm debating on like if I'm gonna keep it traditional black and white, or if I'm gonna put it in color. There's something I like about the art of black and white and it being more true to manga style, but the subject matter of the book, I feel like it demands colored pages. So I can't tell y'all anything else about it other than I'm working on it. I've got all my main characters are all designed. The character sheets are phenomenal. I got the book cover this week, and I'm making tweaks on that with the artist. Yeah, that's like it's about a young black girl. I'll let you guys know. That's another reason you guys will know. And I wanted to tell that story, and it's dear to my heart. It's inspired by some women in my life that I know that have, you know, kind of like found themselves doing one thing and realize there's something else that they want to do, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I'll shape it. Like for me, it's like I don't like when people like talk and hype up stuff and it never come out. Like it's some books I didn't fund it on Kickstarter, and it's been 2-3 years and I ain't got it. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. That's we know.
Yeah, you know, no disrespect. I know it's really hard to make books, even though I make a lot of books for DC and Boom Studios. Doing it yourself, I'm really seeing how difficult it is. Like, you know, like there are cover artists, there are sequential artists, you know, every letter is not the same, you know what I mean? So it is really hard. No disrespect to anybody that is taking time to produce their book. But for me, when I announce something, I want it to either be finished or like it be just waiting to print. So, but I am actively working on this manga inspired graphic novel, and it's something I've been passionate for a long time.
Period.
That is so
Okay.
dope.
Yeah, we can definitely respect that. Have you thought about just doing like keeping it manga style where it's black and white, but then just doing like splash color, like one accent color?
I saw that the artist that is doing my book, he did that, and it was cool. But like, I don't know if it's just me as like a human being. I feel like I'm either one or the other. Like you either give it to me black and white, or you give it to me in the most beautiful color. When you do like the one splash, like it's cool. But I guess like one thing that Tyler taught me about is that sometimes with indie comics, we'll do this beautiful, get some really good artists for a beautiful cover of the book, but then the art on the inside does not match.
Yeah.
And you can do that when you're a Marvel or a DC because it's the whole variant cover system of, selling copies and stuff like that. But for the indie artists, people like us, you want to get that cover and you want it to match, you want it to feel the same. So that's where I try to look at the holistic package of like, what am I putting out into the world?
Yeah.
And what's going to be the best product that I can afford to put out that doesn't bankrupt me, but also doesn't like limit the quality of the book, right? So, and then every artist doesn't want to color. Some artists color themselves. Some artists prefer a colorist. So it's working out those details. But I'm very excited. It'll be, my goal is to have it around 200 pages. So I want it to kind of be a little thick. I look at the market and there's something special about a graphic novel or a manga you can pick up for $9-10 and it's hefty and you get to go through it, versus sometimes American comics you get 5 issues of 22 pages, six issues of 22 pages, and it's thin and it's there, but it's like $16 or $20 for a TPB. So I want to make it affordable for us. Like I want anybody who has an interest in the subject matter of this book to have less excuses on why they can't get it, or why their school can't get it, or why somebody can't get it. Like, I'm trying to make it as accessible as I can. Yeah. And I think it goes back to like, a question you asked me at the beginning, Bree and Keisha, about like what got me into comics. Comics were, $1, $2, and it kept me out of trouble. So this first project I put out, I really wanted to be of the best quality it can be and to be affordable for all ages. That's another thing. This book is all ages. Like it's not going to be too kiddie. It's not going to be too adult. I think this is a book that you could sit down with your niece or your nephew, but you as an adult woman could have a tea and, drink out. I think it'll be a story that we can all enjoy. And that's what I'm going for on this book.
Yes. Yeah. That's amazing. And like LT is saying, we definitely appreciate like learning more about the business side of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Anthony taught me a lot. Like I said, Anthony told me I was ugly and couldn't read good. So Anthony taught me a lot. Because it's a lot. And then also like you get into like paper quality and stuff like that. I'm not there yet in my process, but all these things like hardcover versus soft cover, like those are all things to talk about. But to me, it starts with the story, making sure I have a story that I'm passionate about, that I want to see all the way through, but also a story that the artists will want to see all the way through. Like that's 200 pages, they have to draw, and you want them to be interesting. You don't ever want to get to a point where like doing it for a check or doing it to get it done, because you can feel it in the art. You can feel good mistakes and bad mistake, but it's the passion when that person is drawing it that brings it to life, and it can be very beautiful. Like even in our cover, he did some things that he didn't tell me about. He's like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I just had this idea. Do you like it? I'm like, yeah, I like it. Like that's a great idea. But like in our conversation, that wasn't part of the pitch, but he threw something extra on there. I'm like, oh yeah, like that's what I like. Keep it. Like whatever brain path you got on to do that, keep that path. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
It's good that you're prioritizing that, but also keeping accessibility in mind, because we were talking about like with indies, we want to support all of our indie books too, because we're the ones telling the real stories. But it's also really tough when you got like you said, like 100-page trade paperback, and because it's indie, you're having to pay like $35-$40 for it.
Yeah, I bought some people's books for 40 and up for less than 40 pages. Yeah, at the time, money was good. Now let me support. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But you know, when you do that, I feel like we owe it to our audience. Like, what's the dude's name? Oh man, the Grits and Eggs podcast.
Deontay.
He was talking about how, like, you know, how we treat our customers, how we treat our, you know, how we treat them. And I think about that. I think about being a kid when I didn't have anything in my pocket. I think about now being an adult with a little bit of change here and there sometimes. Like, I want someone to feel like they would have paid more for it versus they paid too much and it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. I'd rather have them like, this is only $10. This is only $15. I got all this. I'd rather have that than, damn, I spent $30 on this, $40 on this, and it was you know? So, and again, comics is hard. I don't ever want to put on anybody else's dreams or things like that, because anybody who's making something is doing something. Speaking of that, we've never met, but Danny J. Quick, we're no relation. We've never met. He has ongoing comic book series. I need to shout him out. He's a good dude. We've never met in person, just conversations digitally, but he's a good dude where, you know, he does a good job of giving you bang for your buck, and like his covers matches interiors, or when there's a guest cover, it's not too far off. So shout out to Danny J. Quick as well.
Nice.
You just reminded me of Boondocks. He's like, no relation.
Oh, no relation. Stephanie just did a video with the voice actor.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. Off camera, I'll do a good Uncle Ruckus impression for y'all. Not on camera though.
Period. Not you keeping the peak impersonation off the show, but we gotta respect.
He said that can't live forever.
that can't be on the internet somewhere when I'm trying to accept an award or something like that. Somebody and my auntie look at me like,
And you will be doing that if you keep writing like that. You definitely will be accepting lots of awards, and we're gonna be like, yeah, we had him on the show.
I like to put it like this: if it's in his will, I just want to be able to make a living and to create and to see my people and support my people. I will say, having 10 years in advertising, and you know, they have this thing called Cannes Lions. It's like the Oscars of advertising. After winning a bunch of those, like, life didn't change much emotionally.
Come on, casual flex.
Right.
But like, no, but it's like I'm having this conversation, you know, especially with like Black men, and like, you know, there's so much success that we have to have projected on us, and you reach for something, you get it, and then when you get it, nothing really changes. And it's like, all right, the value has to be internal. So that's what I'm working on as an artist, as a filmmaker, as a creator. Is like, if those things come, thank you, amen, I appreciate it. But if they don't come, that I make a good book for my audience, Black, white, whatever. Did I put my effort into it? Did I do my best? And can I sleep at night knowing I did my best? Because if you chase awards, like, it's what's the next thing you're gonna chase?
Right.
You know, like, so that's kind of where I want those things, I do, but I don't want to put a focus on those and I don't get them, and then I'm not a happy human being. So yeah, if y'all want to put that on me and it happens, let me have it, let me take it. But me myself, I want to make the best story possible. You know, like right now, like, we're all rooting for Sinners, right? Like, we're all rooting for it. And some of us feel a certain way right now about some of the recent awards. That whole team made a film that's gonna be part of our lives and legacies for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And let's take that away. You can do history courses on Sinners. You could do music courses on Sinners. It's something that, you know, every year on Halloween we'll be talking about it, every year on Black History Month. To make something like that that's going to stand the test of time is better than any award. But granted, we want them to win everything. But what that film means to our community and the world is so much more. And that's the type of art that I want to make, whether it's comedy, drama, whatever, just something that stands the test of time, that speaks to people, empowers them, encourages them, helps them navigate life, let go, live, love. That's what I want to focus on, that more than the awards. I know it's hard because I see the awards and I see the applications and I want them, but I want to try to make being the best storyteller a priority over the awards.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said about the impact that comes from when people acknowledge that you should have gotten the award, because I feel like there's a lot more conversation around how impactful Sinners has been outside of the awards, which makes, I feel like people will be more loyal to the idea of whatever project comes from Ryan Coogler next, just off the strength of, we decided the value of this piece, not anybody else. And, you know, we held it up accordingly. And I think that that's honorable that, you know, you're like humble about the idea of awards and whatever. And that you have integrity behind, you know, your craft. But we still want you to win lots of awards.
And again, like, as long as I'm able, like, I love building relationships. So long as I got something coming out and I'm able, I want to make time to grow with y'all, you know, grow y'all channel and be a part of it. And then, you know, wherever I can help out with, you know, let me know.
Period. We're going to hold you to that quick.
Yes.
Reasonable. You know, I mean, no, you know, reasonable things, you know? Yeah.
That's awesome. But yeah, no, we really appreciate you taking the time to come through and share with us about your story and this upcoming anthology. If y'all haven't already pre-ordered it, make sure that you run and go cop that. It's coming out on the 28th. So you may still be able to do some pre-order depending on how your store does it. But if not, just make sure you're in there that first week that it drops, so that way you can support. And we'll definitely be talking about the anthology as a whole on Pink Riot. So you want to make sure that you've read it so you don't catch spoilers or strays. Shout out to you, Dorado, for coming through and showing love. We really appreciate you. You've been really cool from the beginning. And we can't wait to have you back for another episode. And we hope to run into you at San Diego Comic-Con again.
Yeah. Me and Morgan trying to make our way back there again.
Period. Yeah, we're on that same mission. But yeah, thank you so much for coming through. And we can't wait to have you back, man.
Thank you both. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Later.
All right.
Yay! Excellent show. Iconic show. Brilliant. Great. What can I say? No, I'm kidding.